That's wonderful, because again we say, what can we talk about the community? We, every one of us are the community. What can we do? Our children, when you mentioned 50, 60, 80, 90, we were making progress at one point.
Yes.
And beginning to feel so good. The children were going to college, they were striving, as you say, crack came in, and it just, some of the most beautiful minds got caught up in crack, and the mothers who were 15, 16, 17, at 35 became grandmothers.
Yes, yes, yes.
And so now we've got to try and save them. When I see, in fact, I have to talk about this. I was on one of the buses, and this was not a young man. I would say he was at least in his 40s, which he was beyond his prime. Had his pants underneath of his buttocks, and had a white underwear, not plaid. And I was talking with a friend of mine. In fact, we had just come from a meeting at church. And I looked up, and he was just showing off. And just as he was going to the front of the bus to get off, God saved me. I said, pull your pants up. You are too old to be sagging. And he stopped for a minute, and he just put his hands down towards, and then he just like, almost like you know, as they play Screw You, really. And he just walked away. But the people looked at me like, have you lost your mind? And I just felt, oh Lord, let me just be one voice where maybe he may have the young man may have gotten off the bus and thought to himself, you know, this is pretty ridiculous.
You know, a lot of people say, well, just leave the young people alone with their fashion.
Oh,
but
come
let's face
on.
it's, I mean, when you have a fashion where you have back pockets in your pocket and you can't reach them with your normal arms, there's a problem with that.
Yes.
When you're walking and you can't walk at a decent pace because, I mean, God
like
made, you are built to walk in a certain manner. When you have your crotch down there, your knee, that is not scientifically proper. You know, so it's just a problem. But I mean, it's ridiculous that people have to understand. If you dress that way, obviously you're not going to walk into no Wall Street place. You're not going to walk to most places. The kind of places where you really become upward mobile. You can't carry yourself like that and expect to get hired and move on up.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think that probably some of the fast food places will tell you ain't working in here with your pants down to your knees. But unfortunately, like I said, these are the things with personal responsibility,
you gotta have
family responsibility,
self-respect,
and community responsibility. That this is wrong and we need to get it together. And we just can't say everything's okay, it's just a time, it's a phase, or some cultural thing. I mean, we can't afford some of these cultural things.
That's true.
You know, it sets us back. And well, let's face it, we're starting way behind in the first place.
And we were moving forward at a fast pace.
And the simple fact of the matter, if we take 3 steps forward and 2 steps back, and everybody else takes 3 steps forward and another 3 steps forward, eventually that gap gets bigger. And so we say we're making progress. But you have to make progress at the same rate as the other people. And in fact, we need to make 4 steps for every 3 that someone else makes in order to catch up for what's been done to us in the past. It's time for us to understand these simple facts. They're not trigonometry and quantum mechanics. They're basics that anyone paying attention to life here or anywhere else would know. That we have to get our act together. We just can't live the life like fools and a joke, because other people, when they disrespect us, oftentimes they say, well, hey, you disrespect yourself.